Hey guys, what is up? It is Lynn here tonight, as I shall say, because it's 11:11. Make a wish if it's 11:11 when you're watching this. My wish is just in my 11:11 wish right there. Made sure it was still 11:11. So before we start this, let's make sure we get this video to at least 10 likes and make sure to subscribe. Please subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you can get notified when me or Jasmine uploads, but probably will be me. But besides that, today I will be reading some Reddit stories again. I don't know what else to do. Like, I just really into this and I'm like, So today I'll be reading two most likely, but besides that, let's just get right on into the video. So before I start, I do know I kind of look like a mess. I might just take my hair down. So like, because I kind of did my makeup, but like I kind of just threw my, okay, yep. Yeah, definitely helped. Maybe if I yeah, I'm just gonna throw my hair up in like a weird ass bun type thing. Sorry that I look bald headed. I kinda did shave all this hair off. So if I look bald headed, that's because I shaved off half my forehead. We're not gonna do that. We look bald headed as fuck. I'm not dealing with that shit, so we're just gonna put our bangs back down. Gosh, I'm so good enough. Whatever. We're just gonna look like a disaster. But besides that, let's just get right on into it. I will be reading off my phone, like always. So this first story was by T.O. Hurt, Ty.O. Hurt, something, whatever, called Late Night Visitor Exposes Family Secret. Ooh, don't we all love secrets? So, starting off, so he says, I always yawn in every video. I always yawn. So, this happened back in 2013 in near Dallas, Texas. Me, male. Sorry if that's ear rapey. I don't know if that's ear rapey. I don't even know if my headphone's working. So me, male 28, and my wife, female 28, went to bed around 10:30 after shutting down the house, locking doors, turning off lights, and setting our alarm. We lived in a brand new house, so bearing being built on the Indian graveyard or something, we were good as far as ghosts go. Or so I thought. At around 1:00 a.m., I woke up and saw that our living room light was on. There was no way we would have left it on, as it's connected to our room, and we leave the doors open for the dogs. So I reach over and check on my wife. She's dead asleep. So I wake her up and ask if she had gotten up and left the light on. She says no. Obviously, someone was in our house. Okay, first of all, what kind of psychopath leaves their bedroom door open? I don't care if you're leaving that open for your dogs. You just have your dogs come in your room. You say, lay down. Like my dog is right there on my bed, because I'm on my bed today, or tonight. And I have the whole upstairs is walled off, and it's like a different section almost of the house. And like, I have the whole upstairs to myself, and I still shut my bedroom door. So, let's just continue. So, obviously someone was in our house. I grabbed my gun and did a sweep on our house, looking for a potential intruder. Texas, right? Nobody is in the house. That didn't belong. And the alarm was still on. So obviously, it was a mistake. And somehow, we forgot to turn the light off. I go back to bed, feeling uneasy, with a little adrenaline rush. As I laid in bed, trying to go back to sleep, I rolled back over and looked towards the doorway, and saw a large black shadowy figure. Instantly, I knew it wasn't human, so I didn't move and stayed staring at it. It slowly made its way over to my wife's side of the bed and stands over her, at least 7 feet tall. And I whispered to my wife, who is also trying to go back to sleep, and says, "Do you see that?" She whispers back, "Yes, what is it?" The shadow then slowly glided over to my side of the bed, and I'm paralyzed with fear. I have the blankets pulled up to my neck, and I'm closing my eyes praying, "God, protect me if this is a demon." Then slowly I feel a pressure being placed on my body, as if my comforter transformed into a weighted blanket and felt like a soft hug. Not anything malignant, like evil, is basically. Still terrifying. Then it was gone. My adrenaline disappeared, and I was able to fall asleep shortly after. The next morning, I called my father, who lives about 1,500 miles away, to talk to him about this. He's always been my spiritual advisor, as he has been a church leader for many years, and someone I consider very spiritually attuned. So I asked him, "Dad, have you ever had a ghost visit you before? Do you believe in ghosts?" He was quiet and didn't answer for a bit, then asked me why. So I tell him the story, and he quietly listens to my story, then says, "Well, to answer your question, yes, I believe in spirits. And yes, I have had a ghost visit me 2 nights ago, as a matter of fact, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is." Well, I was not expecting that answer, nor what he was about to tell me. Ooh, who is it? Itch. I have to yawn again. I wonder. I said, "Well, who was it?" He told me it was his father. I said, "What the hell? When did Grandpa die?" Then he went on to explain that he just found out less than a week ago that my grandfather was not his real father, and that he was an illegitimate child from an affair that my grandmother had had back in the day. My grandmother had never told anybody before, and though my grandfather always suspected it, he has never confirmed that my father was his biological son or not. My dad said he had intended on protecting his mom's secret and not telling anybody. My father had found out when he was trying to collect DNA samples from his parents for ancestry genealogically purposes. When he had asked my grandma for a DNA sample, she started freaking out and asking why he wanted to do that. The guilt was finally too much for her, and she came clean and told him. When my father found out who this man was, he tried to track him down, only to find out that he had only died a year earlier and that he had kids of his own but never had any grandkids. My dad's newly found half-brother and sister told him that he had always wanted grandchildren but never had them for his kids. My father that night prayed to God to let his father know that he had another son and had grandchildren. So it would seem that my deceased grandfather decided to pay my father and me, his firstborn son, a visit from the afterlife. Long story short, ghosts visit me. When I tell my dad, he informed me it was his illegitimate father he had just found out about. Holy moly. So, that was, at least it wasn't like too spooky. Like, yeah, I'd be spooked out, but at least it wasn't anything like, "Roar, let me roar." But, that was cringe. But at least it wasn't anything that was like, "Oh, let me hurt you." It was just someone like trying to visit and stuff. So, that's really good because, my teeth look so yellow. Ew, that's disgusting. They're red and they look super yellow. But let's not point that out now. Everybody who watches this is gonna be looking at my teeth, so I'm gonna be covering my mouth for a second. But let's get right on into the next part of this video, next story, and that story has some photos, a photo with it too. So let's just get right on into it. So let me yawn. So this was posted by El Mari Nadzin. I don't know if I said that name. I totally know I didn't say that name right. But this is called The Tiptoeing Man. Okay. My throat is... We're gonna skip because I got cough. Okay, I think I'm better now. Let me just yawn really fast. Yeah, it'll be good. Okay, so let me start by saying that things like this always happen in my grandma's house, and we were already used to it at that point, and that I've changed the names of my family members for protection purposes. I had always seen this spirit I called the tiptoe because he used to tiptoe past the garage doorway with his finger to his lips like he was shushing me. He wore a baggy white t-shirt and frayed jean shorts. He never bothered me that much, just mildly freaked me out enough that I had begged for the garage door to stay closed. The door never stayed closed though, and many people swore they didn't leave it open after they had been in there. But that's beside the point. The worst incident I had with the tiptoe happened one night when there were only a few people in the house. I was young, about 5 or 6, and my Aunt Jackie was watching me and my neighbor's kid, who was 2 years older than me. His name was Tom. My aunt had some of her friends over and was sitting in her room talking about things like weird coincidences that were happening in the house. After we had begged her, she told me and Tom we could go get Trit's yogurt. So we went to the kitchen to get it. I love how I love that. Now, the way this kitchen was set up was that there was 2 ends to it. Neither had doors on them, and to get out of the kitchen, you had to walk through the living room. And at the end of the room, facing it, the kitchen was a garage door that always ended up open, unfortunately. So I will be putting the photo right here so y'all can see like the layout, because they did a little like layout for us. So it's like a rough sketch of what their old house looked like. So Tom and I were in the kitchen, and I was holding the yogurt, and he was looking for the right spoon, when from out the corner of my eye I saw a tiptoe. But the thing that caused me to notice him is that this time he wasn't tiptoeing past. I looked at the doorway and noticed that Tiptoe was standing in the garage doorway, glaring at me and pointing. I felt chills run down my spine. And of course, Tom is still picking out spoons. I tug at his sleeve, and he asked me what's wrong without looking up from the spoons. I tug on his sleeve again, and this time I say his name. He tells me to hold on and keeps looking at the spoons. At this point, I've got my eyes on Tiptoe while tugging on his sleeve harder, while practically yelling his name. Finally, he looks up and asks me, "What's wrong?" I point to where Tiptoe stood, still glaring and pointing at me. He tells me to forget the spoons and run. We run to my aunt's room as fast as we can and shut the door. I made a spoon out of the yogurt lid, and Tom tucked his like a drink. Things continue to happen. I love how they made sure to tell you that they were still able to eat the yogurt. I love it. Things continue to happen in that house until we moved, and I don't remember seeing Tiptoe after that. But to this day, I don't know if Tom saw or trusted me based on how scared I must have looked, and I hadn't gotten the chance to ask him. I also found out that the reason why things like that had happened in the house is because my aunt played with an Ouija board in the house. Okay, I swear, it was probably a car driving by outside. But dude, that is so spooky. And like why was he always walking by going? And then this one time he's like, man, bitch, let me eat your soul. I'm out here like, I feel like honestly I could be a really good demon, but I'd be a funny demon. Like, you know, like I'd be like, today I was thinking, was it last night? I was like, I wonder if like, you know, like demons, like, do they have to take a shit and like like what if you like were possessing like not possessing someone, but you were in a house and you called a priest or something, and the priest was like starting to exercise, and the demon just goes, hold up man, let me take a shit. Bathrooms in hell are kind of disgusting. That's so dumb but kind of funny. I made the dumbest fucking jokes. I think of the dumbest things, but yo, think of that. I'd be like, bye. But besides that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really do. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, please. And turn on that notification bell again, please. And make sure to go follow me and Jasmine on our main Instagram, dizzycrackers.19. And in the description below, I will be putting all our other social medias and stuff and all that. But make sure to have a nice day, have a nice night, and have a nice life. Thank you for watching. Bye.